Good morning. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Cultural Coast. It is so vibrant in here today. You can just feel the energy. It's amazing. And we're going to have, as you can already tell, some incredible music again today. Woohoo! All right. My name is Richard Houston. I'm one of your licensed practitioners, and I'm excited to be with you here today. And thank you to those online. We're so excited that you could either join us now or whenever it happens. We're glad you could be with us. So today there's just a lot going on, and one of the things that comes to mind for me when we think about our topic about love and do you love me now, what comes up for me, it just brings me back to when I first was introduced to New Thought. I started going to a co-development CODA for a 12-step program just to sort of understand my codependency. So, and I know and I'm excited that we've now started a program for those who want some 12-step help at the next level. So that's pretty exciting. But for me, a lot of it was looking at things and really understanding what was going on with my belief system. Really that deepening, that understanding and the unfolding. And it was the same time as I started New Thought. So it was like this huge double thing of understanding and going in deeper, and also learning new ways to express it, new ways to understand it, new ways to look at the world. So I am sure that today we're going to have some new insights, we're going to have some new openings, and there's just going to be this amazing growth in terms of just really understanding what's going on for us individually and collectively. So at this time, let's just take a moment to go within. For we know that God is good all the time, whatever name we call it, nature, the universe, love. It is in and through all things. It is unending, unceasing. It is limitless. It is love itself. It is joy. It is the connection between us and amongst us. And we are one with this allness. We are one with this love. We are one with this joy. We are one with the goodness of life. And from that place, I just know and claim for this time together in community that we feel the heartfelt love. We feel the connection with each other, with the community, and with the world at large. For we know in this time together that this unfolding, this seeking, this beautiful time together is just amazing. And we just know that we will be enlivened from it and go forth into the world. So we just give gratitude in this moment for this joyous time together, for this love unfolding, and for just community. We are blessed and grateful. And we just let it be. And together we say, and so it is. And now we have Elaine and Jay coming to... Oh, just Elaine for now. All right. Sharing.
Good morning, everybody. I think some of us up here today are going to be telling on ourselves, which is okay because it's all good. It's all good. Even if it doesn't feel good in the moment, I have this tool that I can remember the truth principles. And I was going through a really hard time, and this song came through me. It's called Spirit Within Me. Spirit within me, now I see perfection and love with clarity. Spirit within me, now I know infinite gifts that you bestow. I am open, I am free, divine emotions are healing me. I'm complete and I am whole, sanctified in my heart and soul. Spirit within me, now I find so many blessings from one mind. Spirit within me, we are one, expanding beyond the moon and sun. I surrender to the light that fills me up and gives me the sight to see and remember what I feel is gratefulness that I am healed. Spirit within me, I am aware what I receive is what I share. Spirit within my consciousness, reaching out to manifest. All my desires, wants, and needs are more than met in word and deed. Abundance flowing to my door continues now and forevermore. Spirit within me, now I see perfection and love with clarity. Spirit within me, now I know infinite gifts that you bestow. I am open, I am free, divine emotions are healing me. I'm complete and I am whole, sanctified in my heart and soul, sanctified in my heart and soul, sanctified in my heart and soul. And there's only one of us, so it's all of us.
Thank you, Fairy Elaine. Good morning. I'm Jennifer Johnston, one of your Board of Trustee members. And our reading this morning is from The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. And a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, "Speak to us of children. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you, for life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children as living arrows are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite and bends you that each arrow may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness. For even as the archer loves the arrow that flies, so the archer loves also the bow that is stable. And a poem by Mary Oliver, Of the Empire, 2008. We will be known as a culture that feared death and adored power, that tried to vanquish insecurity for the few and cared little for the penury of the many. We will be known as a culture that taught and rewarded the amassing of things, that spoke little, if at all, about the quality of life for people, other people, for dogs, for rivers. All the world in our eyes, they will say, was a commodity. And they will say that this structure was held together politically, which it was. And they will say also that our politics was no more than an apparatus to accommodate the feelings of the heart, and that the heart in those days was small and hard and full of meanness. With a deep bow to Mary Oliver, a revision of the Empire by Reverend Elizabeth D. Barnum, 2025. Elizabeth is a dear friend and my college roommate, and she read her poem to her congregation in Maine last Sunday. Of the kingdom, we will be known as a culture that lived in humility, accepted mortality, and adored justice, that tried to vanquish inequality for all and cared much for eliminating poverty of body and spirit of the many. We will be known as a culture that taught interdependence and distributed the wealth of our shared resources justly, that spoke without ceasing about the dignity and worth of all people, all creatures, who spoke for rivers and oceans, mountains and valleys. All the world in our eyes, they will say, was a blessing, a gift. And they will say that this web of kinship was held together by community, which it was. And they will say also that our politics and activism were woven together to accommodate the feelings of the heart, and that the heart in those days was large and soft and full of love.
And here's Jay Martin. All right, he's going to accompany me. A lot of you know Jay, how outrageously wonderful he is. And I wanted to announce that on Saturday from 2 to 4, we're having a fundraiser at Rising Tide. And it's a fundraiser that is for Rising Tide International and CSLCC for us. And it's going to be a show called The Bible Bad Girls. And it's 6 women, and I met their director at Unity in Fort Myers, and they love to do this, and they do it as a gift for fundraisers for centers and churches. And the subtitle is From Heresy to Her Story. And I'll just give you, basically there's nine stories. There's 6 women. They will wear veils, and they're going to tell the stories of Salome, Rahab, Lilith, Eve, Sarah, and Mary Magdalene. Mary Magdalene wore red. That's why I wore my red today. Sweet Mary Magdalene, Jesus' wife, he loved and honored you all his life. In the chalice of your blessed womb, his children you bore. How can they curse you and call you a whore, Magdalene, a holy one, daughter in the line of David, beloved of Yeshua. Both of you are sacred, both of you are sacred. Together you taught the gospel of love and of peace. When somebody strikes you, you turn the other cheek. By the power of the Spirit, you raised up the dead. How can they lie and say he did it alone instead? Magdalene, a holy one, daughter in the line of David, beloved of Yeshua. Both of you are sacred, both of you are sacred. When he was crucified, you knew he would rise, 'cause you carried his child inside. You, Magdalene, a holy one, daughter in the line of David, beloved of Yeshua. Both of you are sacred, both of you are sacred. Magdalene, a holy one, daughter in the line of David, beloved of Yeshua. Come on. Both of you are sacred, both of you are sacred. Magdalene, a holy one, daughter in the line of David, beloved of Yeshua. Both of you are sacred, both of you are sacred. All of us are sacred, both of you are sacred. And so it is.
Thank you so much. Gosh, I'm already full. Do you feel that way? Yeah. Yeah, I feel full. Full to overflowing already. And yet, There's more. There's more. Oh my gosh. I was overflowing last week, let me tell you that. This whole month is about flow, the comings and goings of life, the way things change in our lives, the way they come and they go. There is this, if you look back, you see that, right? Well, last week, and those comings and goings actually can shape us, and often they do, and they shape us to who we think we are, often. So last week, I was overflowing with love, your love. This room was so filled with love. It was such a beautiful day. It was my birthday, and you showered me with love and cards and gifts, and it was just a joyous day. And I had that special announcement. So if you were not here last week, please see me after the service. And I was sitting in my meditation chair, and I had just been gazing at all the cards on the table. I had like 4 bouquets of flowers. There were gifts, there were cards. I don't know how many cards, but lots of cards. And I was looking at it, and I was feeling so much love. And I closed my eyes, and the thought came to me, do they love me if they know all my stories? I told you last week I was talking about the still small voice. And so I was talking about all the times that I listened. I mentioned one time I didn't listen. But when I listen to that still small voice and how life just takes me on an adventure, it opens a door, it shows me more love, a deeper connection, whatever it happens to be. And then I thought, well, it hasn't always been that way. It's not always that way. Science Mind teaches that the whole of God is present everywhere. You've already heard that, in the music, in the reading, in the opening treatment. You've already heard that. And on our best days, we know that. And on our best days, we listen to that voice. And on our worst days, we feel very disconnected from the source of our being. Yeah? Does anybody know that feeling? And that's the way of life for most of us before we begin to wake up. We have lots of days like that. So today I want to offer a way that we can connect to that truth, where I'm going to give you a little prayer at the end of my message. But when we feel that intimate, deep connection to the divine, when we can walk in that, when we have that knowing that nothing separates us from the divine, God, whatever we choose to call it, infinite love, unconditioned love, creative intelligence, essence, whatever we call that which is really nameless, that can't be named, that can't be contained. It's bliss. It's a feeling of bliss. It's an ascension to a higher consciousness that we have when we are in that space of remembering, when we've let go of all the things that stand in our way. Well, that has not always been the case for me. In 2nd grade, I hit this little boy because he took my sweater. This is true confessions. And I got paddled in middle school because I ripped up a punishment assignment. Yeah, I was in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. We paddled. We did all kinds of really terrific ways to teach children. And I was in the room, in the portable. Someone broke a light. The teacher came in and said, "Theresa, tell me who did it." And I refused to do it. I refused to tell him. So he ripped pages out of the dictionary and handed them to me and said, go home and rewrite all of these. So before I got on the bus, I went into his office and I ripped it up in tiny little pieces and put it on his desk. I was paddled the next morning when I came to school. Early in high school, I was suspended for fighting. Late in high school, I was hardly ever there. I was skipping all the time. I stole some kind of hair thing from where TJ Maxx is now. There was a store there when I was a kid. What was it? Zayre's. I stole a hair thing from Zayre's. My first year of college, I came home on academic probation. I excelled at partying in the boys' dorm, though. I excelled there. Look, I'm not even up to 19 yet. I'm not even 20 years old yet. You think I had some issues? I had a few issues. Some anger issues, some self-worth issues, some issues. We all have issues. We all have wounds. Many of us come into spiritual community with wounds. Yeah? Some of us have. So, in the words of someone wise, how do we grant grace to each other? I suggest we start with ourselves first. We have to have that self-love, that self-understanding, that place where we know our connection to Source, no matter how we just showed up, in spite of or because of how we just showed up, right? So I talked from this book last week when I was feeling so full of love. And this book, it's written by James O'Day, but there's really so many people, Michael Singer, Barbara Marks Hubbard. I mean, there's so many wonderful people that have contributed to this book. And in this book, they say that this is a revolutionary daily living. And I'm tying it in with Science of Mind today. So there's a prayer in here. It's called the Soul Awakening Prayer, or the Soul Awakening practice or prayer. And there's 6 components to it, 6 areas that we look at. And the first one is soul awakening, soul awakening. And so in Science of Mind, we learned that the awakening is actually the process of evolution. It's our individual process, it's the collective process that little by little by little we are awakening. We are awakening. And that can look very much like evolution. And it is. It is our personal evolution. It is our soul's evolution. It is the evolution. I mean, I am not the second grader that's going to hit you if you take my sweater. Maybe you're cold and you need a sweater, right? You need to feel warm. But until our whole being is open to that, where we see life is not separate from God, it is not separate from good. That life, in fact, is God. This thing that we're doing, this thing that we're being, this stuff that moves through us, these experiences, it's all that divine energy. It's all that. I didn't know that in elementary school or middle school or high school or even college. I didn't know that. I didn't know that my whole process is an awakening, that my whole being is evolutionary, and that I'm witnessing that in you and with you, and we're doing that together all the time. In the Science of Mind, we learn that the spiritual nature never sleeps. There's that imprisoned splendor, Ernest Holmes called it. That which has never been hurt, that which has never been confused, sick or poor, or unfaithful or mean. That is within each one of us. That. The second one is heart opening. So we have soul awakening and heart opening. That divine in me, as me, is love. You know, we hear God is love. How do we know God is love? How do we know? When the science of mind, we teach that love is the self-givingness of the divine, of the creator to its creation. By means of some inward process of itself, all creation comes into form, and it goes into that. That divine is inherent in all its form. In you, in me, in this beautiful garden, in this building, in the intelligence that designed this awesome building that we're in the intelligence that designed hurricane-proof windows. Yeah? It is in all things. In all things. And Ernest Holmes wrote that it is tapping at the walls of our heart. It is tapping at the walls of our heart. It's a divine urge. It's an impulse. It's a passion in each one of us. It shows itself uniquely through each one of us. Isn't that fabulous? Isn't that exciting to know and to think about? It's tapping at the walls of our heart. How could we not open? How could we not open? Yes? We can't stay stuck and closed because of mistakes that we have made. Because of choices that we made that weren't our best choice, the highest choice. Because in that moment we thought it was the only choice. I have made many of those. Many of those where I thought it was the only choice. Now I know there's an infinite realm of choices. It's endless, it's eternal, and I get to choose. But I didn't always know that. And in the science of mind, some people think it's all about the mind, and Ernest Holmes himself said that had I to do it over again, I would have started with the heart. I would have started with love, because it's so cerebral. And as he grew in the teaching that was coming out of him, he realized that it was heart-centered. That's what was trying to come forth through him, was more and more and more love. Yeah? So he said the real creative power of the mind is that deeper intellect of the heart where we have feeling and acceptance. And there's a language of the heart, he said. And I'm going to say that it is that language of the heart is feeling. And it is a yes. It is a yes. It is a yes. So Crystal, is it Kubish? Yeah, Crystal Kubish, a friend of many of ours, I saw yesterday on Facebook. She shared that she had had a bad day. But she talked about at the end of that sharing and all the things she did to turn herself around is that she had a new level of self-love. And that's what she was calling us to do when we have those bad days, a new level of self-love, to hold ourselves gently in that space, to let that energy move through us, the pain, the doubt, the fear, whatever it is where we say, oh my God, I messed up. Hold it, honor it, and release it. And we all find our ways of doing that. Yeah. So heart, soul awakening. Heart opening. And the third one is light shining. We become adept at using law in this teaching. We have the phrase, all is love and law, love and law, love and law. But there's also a light. And one thing I want to caution us when we think about all of this that I'm talking about this morning, that it's not just for ourselves that we do these things. It is for each other, as Jennifer read. It is for each other. So as an evolved soul, we read, as an evolved soul, we honor the divinity in ourselves and in everything. We've read or heard, ye are the light of the world, and that's that divine spark in you. That's what that means. Ye are the light of the world. There is that divinity, that divine, that unique, brilliant light within each one of us. Was that the God who got divorced? Who fought? Was that the God who had an abortion? Was that the God who went through bankruptcy? Yes. 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 Hold that. Own that. I do. I hold and own those things. Yes. There's a light and a life at the center of all things. It has incarnated itself. It's an incarnated consciousness, an intelligence, a love, again, in all things. And it communicates itself to us and speaks that divine language to us, but we must listen. Sometimes we're so busy in life, we don't listen. But that doesn't mean that we're bad. It doesn't mean that. It means it was a misstep. Oh my God, I wish I had learned this earlier, right? I had a therapist, probably in the 90s, who wrote on the outside of my file, "A woman on the run." And I'm like, what the heck does that mean, Joe? And Joe told me, you don't slow down long enough to feel your life. God doesn't make mistakes or errors. I am not a mistake or an error, and neither are you in anything that you have done, ever, ever. Divinity shapes us. There's this urge, push, a pull, a movement, an activity. It's irresistible, immutable, and absolute. And it is available at the level of our perception. We read that, we hear that over and over again in this teaching. It's to the degree that we wake up to it, to the degree that we understand it, to the degree that we use it, that we make ourselves available to it. But listen, this is an evolutionary process, and there's no rush. There's no rush. God's not going anywhere, right? Right. Fourth one, love flowing. Love flowing. I already said love is that self-givingness of spirit through its desire to express itself through nature. It is always and forever doing this, right? The leaves fall, they fertilize the ground, new sprouts come up. It is always and forever doing this, everywhere, all the time. You're no exception to that. It's happening all the time for us. We are immersed in it, surrounded by it, filled with it, made of it. It brought us here now for this experience, right? So we simply make ourselves available. It's here, it's everywhere. Love, unconditioned love. So many of us were not taught this concept, and it's a shame. I remember telling my children over and over, I love you. I don't like what you just did. Let's talk about that. But they were very clear that I loved them. And there wasn't anything, I can remember saying that to my son in high school. There's nothing you could do that would make me not love you. Know that. Nothing. Nothing. Let us give that grace to ourselves, right? I didn't stop making mistakes at 20. I didn't stop making them at 31. I still make them now. But I can give myself that grace, that love. Yeah. Nothing keeps us from that love of God. And what a comfort to know that. Ernest Holmes wrote, love is greater than all else, and it covers a multitude of mistakes. Maybe I should read that again. Love is greater than all else, and it covers a multitude of mistakes. It overcomes everything, and it neutralizes all that is unlike itself. Number 5, wounds dissolving. We've all heard time heals all wounds. Has that been true? I suggest that we have to be proactive. I suggest that we have to be proactive. I depart a little bit from Ernest on this one. If we wish to come to Spirit for the healing of our wounds, he said, let us come in peace and spontaneous joy, with thanksgiving and a thankful heart, in harmony with life. We come with a quiet, and I'm paraphrasing, we come with a quiet confidence, open and receptive. Look, Spirit's unconditional. We're the ones that create this idea and a world of condition. You know? But I do think that doing our forgiveness work is important. I think being proactive and doing that kind of work is important. Because the ultimate goal in doing that is to be free of those stories and to have confidence in ourselves going forward. Remember, this is an evolutionary process. We want our hearts open. We want love to flow through us. So we need to let go of anything that would block that. And when we do, there's a level of confidence. You've heard me say this over and over again. I think confidence is the sexiest quality that there is. And I don't mean a confidence that's egotistical, but a knowing, a confident knowing. Isn't that a beautiful thing? We love that in people, don't we? We love that. Have that. That's what allows me to get up here every Sunday and share with you in a way that I'm only enhanced when I share. When I can be real and vulnerable and authentic. And so, the 6th one is radiate peace. Radiate peace. We have this eternal opportunity. Life is presenting it to us all the time with its evidence that it is here for us. We have that evidence every day if we look. If we look. And that gives us such a sense of peace, a trust, a faith. That even when we don't know what tomorrow has, we move into it, radiating life, a sense of peace, a sense of confidence, a great love, all of the above. So, still today, I make mistakes. I had promised my daughter a couple months ago that I would watch my granddaughter this afternoon right after the service. I had not put that on my calendar. And then I promised Josie that we would have Clarita's celebration of life today after the service. Yeah, whoops. I'm so grateful for this teaching. And I'm so grateful that you love me even when I make mistakes. And I want to extend that to you all the time. All the time. All the time. So here's the prayer from the book. James O'Day says, soul's awakening lights a fire of irreversible transformation. And the story ends only in our collective experience of enlightenment and peace. Each soul helps to liberate other souls when it awakens. So we're going to go through this prayer 4 times. The first one is this, it's for ourselves. So I want you to embody this as I speak these words. Visualize your soul awakening. Whatever that looks like, whatever that feels like, embody that now. A greater experience, an expansion. Visualize your soul's awakening. And open your heart. Breathe in that love in which we are immersed in, made of, brought here by unconditioned love. Breathe it in. Open your heart. And allow that light to shine in, as, and through your heart and mind, your very being. And allow all your wounds to dissolve. Allow it to dissolve in this light. And thus, peace radiates out. Feel that peace from within, that place that has never known fear or worry or doubt. That place that is so still. Radiate that peace from the very core of your being. Soul awakening, heart opening, light shining, love flowing, wounds dissolving, peace radiating. Now I will read through this again and picture someone in your life, someone you hold dear, and know their soul's awakening, their heart opening. That divine light shining forth in, as, and through them. Love flowing freely, fully. Wounds dissolving, peace radiating. Now imagine everyone you're connected to. That's this entire CSL community, CSL International, your families, your co-workers, your friends, your neighbors, everyone that you are connected to. Imagine souls awakening, hearts opening, lights shining, love flowing, wounds dissolving, and peace radiating. And finally, this is a planetary soul awakening moment, the awakening for all of humanity into a greater awareness of who and what we are and what is possible. Imagine humanity's soul awakening. See it, feel it, know it. Planetary soul awakening. Heart opening. Light shining forth in as and through all. Love flowing unimpeded. Wounds dissolved and peace radiating now. And so it is.
Yeah, but you didn't get kicked out of high school and got sent to the convent. I was sent to the convent my freshman year, and then they invited me to not return. And this is a song I'm going to tell on myself some more. I had a really, really good friend. I had known this person since the 90s and travels around and teaches New Thought philosophy and a lot in common and hung out together. And then I started to notice that it wasn't so open with this person. And then one day they told me that they didn't want to be my friend anymore because when they were around me, it made their skin crawl. So I'm like, ouch. And I was pretty upset about it, but I got a good song out of it. And the first verse is all about when you do this, when you do that. And then, I'm writing this, and all of a sudden I'm realizing, yeah, but there's only one of us, so that's me too. So then I had to write the verse about, and when I do this. And it's called Because, and it's got a creepy sound. When you witness something that makes your skin crawl, or when you're hearing something that makes you wanna bawl, when you might have a feeling that brings on some fear, that's when the choices appear. That's when an answer is near. Because we are each at cause. Because of immutable laws. Because be the cause what I know to be true. What we're looking at, we're looking through. That's your part if you want. What we're looking at, we're looking through. And I realized, that's me too. When I witness something that makes my skin crawl, or when I'm hearing something that makes me wanna bawl, when I might have a feeling that brings on some fear, that's when the choices appear. That's when an answer is near. Because we are each at cause. Because of immutable laws. Because be the cause what I know to be true. What we're looking at, we're looking through. What we're looking at, we're looking through. We can take responsibility for what we attract. It may not be so easy to change how we react. It's work to take a moral inventory. When I point at you, it comes back to me. Just like the boomerang that love appears to be, or the echo of negative emotionality can say, because we are each at cause, because of immutable law. Because be the cause what I know to be true. What we're looking at, we're looking through. What we're looking at, we're looking through. What we're looking at, we're looking through. One more, let me hear you, come on. What we're looking at, we're looking through.
Well, thank you. I have to say, though, that didn't make my skin crawl. That actually felt good. So thank you for that uplifting music and message. So this is a time of our tithes and offerings. This is our time to give back to the community, to share with the universe that which the universe has shared with you. So if you'll take your tithe and offering and hold it close to your heart, and if you do it electronically like me, just bring it to mind, bring it to consciousness, and we'll say these words. We are blessed. We allow our tithe to multiply. For we know it does good work in the world. And the universe is blessed. We are grateful, and so it is.
Thank you, Richard, and let's sing together. I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on. I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on.
So the other thing that we tithe in life actually is love. So if you'll just turn to the person next to you and just tell them that you love them. Oh, wow. I love you. And those online, we love you too. So now I will share some announcements, and we have a beautiful table over here that has a lot of these listings just for you to go browse and enjoy and sort of find out what works for you. First, if you're a first-timer here, we're blessed by you joining us today, and the greeters at the front have a gift for you, so feel free to go over there and check in with them. Also, Spiritual Living Circle meets every Wednesday, and Jim leads that, and it's a wonderful thing. Hey! Feel free to join in with that crew that really explores these practices and messages. On Fridays is the Heart, Mind, Spirit Recovery, so blending recovery work with new thought work and messages, so that's an opportunity. Elaine told us about the Bible Bad Girls. So, yes, there are tickets here today. Yes, see Elaine and others. Oh, and so that's Saturday the 22nd from 2 to 4 p.m. Also, we have our Shine event coming up on April 27th. We've been booking acts. We have Bob Sema, music, meditation. It's going to be an amazing day here, so woo-hoo. Look forward to that. That'll be great. I think Lisa has something to share.
Good morning. Okay, so, you know, we've been trying to do the Bollywood dancing. Well, it's canceled. Don't know what happened, not a weather thing. So put it on your calendar for April 16th. We'll make it. We'll make it one of these times, okay? So just move it to that. On the 21st at noon, we're going to have a Zoom Shine event planning, okay? So those of you come and bring your ideas. We're still putting it together, so that's going to be some things to really solidify it, all right? So that's, once again, Friday the 21st at noon. It'll be a Zoom. Let me know. There's a sign up over there. Bollywood's over there also, all right, so I can get you the link. And then on that evening, the same day, the 21st, is the spring equinox. We'll be going to Bangkok and meeting for dinner and having a little community gathering again, and then we'll leave at 6:30 to go over to the meditation and everything. This is a co-ed meditation, so guys, come on and come with us and everything, okay? So enjoy that. There's also sign up over there. And then the first Monday of every month, you know, we're continuing metaphysics and other neat stuff. So this will be April the 7th, and we're going to be watching Consciousness and the Mystery of Existence, 6:30. So another sign up sheet over there, all right? So come and play with us. Enjoy. Thanks.
So there is this, Reverend Theresa mentioned, there is a celebration of life for Clarita today, and this will be at 1 o'clock. It will be happening, and this will be a different form. This will be music, dancing, and truly celebrating for her life. So feel free. You're welcome to come join in that right here. We will have coffee and conversation right after the service. And I am the practitioner of the day, and I will be over in the prayer corner over here for those that would like prayer. And just know that we're here to serve you, the practitioners, the ministerial staff. So feel free to come up to us at any point. Feel free to submit your prayers through the website, or we're just here to support you. So we're blessed by you. So, and Elaine is going to close us out with a song. And Jay, too. Yay.
I think we should start a duo, Jay. We have a trio already with Annie, but have a duo. This one is called The High Watch, and it's about watching and using the eyes of God, because actually it's the other way around. God gets to see and hear and taste and be human through us, because spirit doesn't have a body, but we can also watch with the eyes of God as well. So it's called The High Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4. I watch with the eyes of God, seeing everything and being everywhere. I'm feeling with the heart of God. It's so good to be alive. The high watch watch is the mind of God, knowing everything and loving everyone. The high watch is the soul of God. It's so good to be alive. There's freedom in the knowing. I'm rising and I'm growing with the faith of a newborn baby. It's so good to be alive. Affirming divine order, it's a spiritual transformer. Affirming the perfection, it's so good to be alive. I watch with the eyes of God, seeing everything and being everywhere. I'm feeling with the heart of God, it's so good to be alive. The high watch is the mind of God, knowing everything and loving everyone. The high watch is the soul of God. It's so good to be alive. It's so good to be alive.